All right, here we go. Let's talk about the 4 games that were played today, August 18th. We have Philly-Montreal Game 4, Calgary-Dallas Game 5, Washington-New York Game 4, and Chicago-Golden Knights Game 4. New York Islanders, they can end the series against Washington in this game, and the Golden Knights can end their series against Chicago. So let's get right into it. Okay, first game we're going to cover, Philadelphia versus Montreal. This is Game 4. Flyers are up 2-1. And overall, though, Montreal has been outplaying Philadelphia, in my opinion. Carter Hart has just been brilliant ever since the Flyers lost 5-0. So let's get right into it. From the game, really, Philadelphia's defense has really locked it down. Obviously, their goaltending has locked it down. And even though if Montreal is dictating the play, they're just not getting those high quality chances they were getting in the first 2 games anyway. And they're getting chances, but they're not the high end quality they were getting previously. So whatever the Flyers have done, they've really shut down the Canadiens. So in the game, 6:32 in the first period, it's Mike Raffl with an absolute beautiful snipe on Carey Price. Couturier takes it over the blue line after Voracek gets the turnover at the far blue. He feeds it over to Couturier. Couturier drops to Raffl, and Raffl just snipes like the Mark Messier spot, but instead of going like low blocker, he goes high blocker. Amazing shot. It's 1-0 Philadelphia. And it stays that way. Into the second period at 17:04, it's Myers who scores, this time from Konechny and Hayes. This was a goal that Price obviously would like to have back. The shot, it bounced in front of him, but it was going wide. And I think he just tried to, play it off into the corner. And his stick was twisted a bit, and it hit weird off it. I think probably because of the bounce off the ice. It goes in the net, so a puck that was going to go wide ends up being a goal, and it's 2-0 Philadelphia. In the third period, Flyers just shut it down. Montreal, again, they do outshoot the Flyers, but they can't beat Carter Hart. He was once again solid. Remember, this is a Hart versus Price kind of series, and Carter Hart showing, I am the next Carey Price. He makes 29 saves on 29 shot attempts, compared to Price's 20 of 22. And the Philadelphia Flyers win 2-0 and take a 3-1 series lead. A big win by Philly. Whatever they've done, the adjustments they've made have been working. Montreal just can't solve the Flyers. And if it carries this way, obviously the series is going to end after next game. So there you have it. Philadelphia is now up 3-1. Next up, we have the Calgary Flames versus Dallas Stars, Game 5. Calgary was up in the series 2-1, but Dallas won last game in overtime. Pavelski got his hat trick. It was a phenomenal game. And like last game, this game was great as well. Not as many goals, but it was still just as tight played, and I had a blast watching this game. So let's get right into it. 10:13 in the first period. It's a shorthanded goal for Jamie Benn. So Jamie Benn scores. He gets his second of the playoffs from Seguin. And Dallas is up 1-0. Doesn't stay that way though, because at 19:14 it's Michael Backlund. He scores with a nice little toe drag at between the top of the circle and the blue line. A little toe drag around the stick, fires it. Goudobin can't see, and it just goes over the pad, and you see Goudobin's glove just a split second behind. It's 1-1. Nothing going on in the second period, a few chances here and there. But then in the third period, 1:12 in, it's John Klingberg from the point, and it's just a typical little wrist shot. And somehow it gets to the back of the net. Talbot would definitely like to have that one back, but hey, what can you do? Klingberg scores his first of the playoffs from Janmark. It's 2-1 Dallas. And then from there, Goudobin shuts the door. Talbot obviously shuts the door as well. Both goalies played phenomenal. Just not as many goals. Calgary did get a few chances there in the third period, but they couldn't solve them. And Dallas, after down 2-1, is now up 3-2 and can finish off the series in Game 6. What a turn of events! Goudobin still playing amazing with Bishop on the not fit to play list. Talbot, he played well. He just wishes he had that Klingberg shot back, but this series is great. I can see this definitely going to 7, though Dallas does have the momentum going into Game 6. So there you have it. Dallas wins 2-1, takes a 3-2 series lead. Next up, we have the Washington Capitals trying to stop the elimination by the New York Islanders. Remember, the Islanders are up 3-0 after that amazing overtime win in Game 3. Varlamov makes that double save on Vrana on the breakaway, goes the other way, and Barzal scores. So Capitals are down 3-0. Let's get right into it. So first period, not a good start for the Washington Capitals. Pajot scores his 4th of the playoffs at 3:50. And then 6 minutes after that, Barzal scores. And he basically just skates through all the Capitals. They just let him skate through. And then he ends up in front of the net, directs the puck past Holtby, and it's 2-0 Islanders at the end of the first period. Go into the second period, 3.5 minutes in, and it's Kuznetsov. He literally looks like he's just out for a morning skate. And he just skates along the boards, and then cuts around the D, cuts around Varlamov, and then the defenseman tries to lift his stick and ends up smacking Kuznetsov's stick, and the puck goes through Varlamov's legs. Kuznetsov scores his 3rd of the playoffs, cuts the lead in half. Even if the defenseman didn't hit Kuznetsov's stick, he had Varlamov beat, because even after it got hit off his stick, he was still moving around Varlamov's pad, and there was open space there as well. He was scoring no matter what. But he made it look so easy, so effortless. The guy is brilliant. And then 2 minutes after that, power play. And John Carlson feeds Ovechkin. And Ovechkin wires it. Varlamov wasn't even set, and that puck was past him. What a shot. Ovi scores from his spot, 2-2. And then in the third period, the Islanders get a chance. So it's around the 3:30. 3 minutes, 30 seconds in. Islanders get a chance. And a great save by Holtby, and then they get stripped of the puck. Goes the other way. And Ovechkin gets the puck. He comes over the blue line from the right side, and he absolutely throws a wicked wrister. Beats Varlamov inside the right post. His 4th of the playoffs. Captain Alex Ovechkin. He wasn't allowing the New York Islanders to eliminate Washington on this night. He scores at 3:40, gives Washington a 3-2 lead, and then Holtby and the rest of the team do the rest of the way. They handle it. Washington stays off elimination. They win this game 3-2. The series is now 3-1 New York. Okay, last game of the day, we have Chicago. They're down 3-1 against the Golden Knights. They're trying to keep this series alive. And let's just say the Golden Knights were all over Chicago once again. Last game, Chicago won, but the Golden Knights just peppered Crawford. And they just did it again. Did it again tonight. Stastny's back in the lineup. He didn't really make too much of a difference, but he's back in there. The Golden Knights are just such a good team overall. Let's get right into the game, shall we? So, first period, Jonathan Toews scores his 5th of the playoffs at 10:32. Chicago's up 1-0. 8 minutes after that, DeBrincat gets his 2nd. Just remember, DeBrincat got that empty netter the other game. So he's finally on the board after getting, let's say 25 chances this series to score. More, 30. Anyway, so he scores to make it 2-0. I was like, okay, Chicago, well done. And then at the end of the first period, 31 seconds to go, Pacioretty gets his 1st of the playoffs from McNabb and Carlson, cuts the lead in half, and you see the tables are turning. The Golden Knights still outperformed them, but you could tell the tables were about to turn. And they do. 57 seconds in the second period. Stone gets his 4th of the playoffs. Ties it up 2-2. I was like, okay, here we go. We got a game. And then the Golden Knights lose defensive coverage. They didn't have the support there, and they just lost their positioning. This happened tons of times this game. And while watching it, I was thinking, if this game goes into overtime, Chicago could win. Even though the Golden Knights deserve to win because they've been outplaying them, these lulls in defense could cost them, because all Chicago needs is one turnover or one Golden Knight to not be in the correct position, and then someone like Toews or Kane are going to score. And this is what happens. So 3 minutes after Stone scores, There's a turnover, and Kane's in by himself. So basically, everyone's leaving the zone. There's a turnover. Kane just swoops down, picks up the puck at the hash mark. From a nice little feed from Kajula, I believe. Fakes, goes to his backhand. Leonard's out swimming. He's done. Puts it 5-hole. He does his little leg down, twisting his glove, like, yeah, I'm good. Everyone knows. He is his second of the playoffs. It's 3-2 Chicago. I was like, okay. Chicago's just going to try to survive. But then 3.5 minutes later, Martinez scores in the power play, ties it up 3-3. And my thoughts keep going. Like, this could end up going into overtime. And if it goes into overtime, I'm going for Chicago. Because Vegas was giving up some quality chances just because their defense, their defensive positioning, both for their forwards and defense, just wasn't there this game. Example, Schmidt had not his best game. He probably doesn't want this tape out anywhere. Let's just say that. And Leonard, like, he did what he could do. He didn't face much. He only faced 26 shots, but the chances were decent quality because of the defensive coverage. Crawford, on the other hand, faced almost 40 shots. So there you go. Anyway, third period, because Martinez scored in the second, what's going to happen? It's the same thing as the start of the second period. Tuck scores a minute 34 in. He gets the goal. His fourth of the playoffs from Marchessault and Theodore, 4-3 Golden Knights. And once they took the lead, I was like, okay, they have it. If they get an insurance marker, then this series is done. And they almost do. I think Tuck almost scores again, basically fires an open net, but there was goaltender interference. I think it was Cousins. He did interfere with Crawford. It was a good call by the league. So no goal, stayed 4-3. Chicago did have their chances at the end of the game, but they just weren't able to really get anything. They weren't able to really muster anything towards Leonard. I think he only had to make like one decent save there. And that's it. Golden Knights are moving on. They win the series 4-1 with this 4-3 Game 5 win. And yeah, Golden Knights, they're off. They're off to the second round. Chicago, Cinderella run. Remember, they defeated the 5th-seeded Edmonton Oilers. They just didn't have it for the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are just too strong overall as a team. One thing to note, though, Corey Crawford looked really good this series, much better than he did against Edmonton. He's a free agent this year, so it wouldn't surprise me if a team picks him up as like a backup. He's obviously not going to get the money that he had in Chicago, but I think if he can stay healthy, he showed that he can play, and he'd be a good solid backup for a team. And there we go. Series done. Golden Knights move on. And that's it. There you have it. That's August 18th games done. I think that's day 7 of the first round. We got the Golden Knights, they moving on. Chicago's gone home. Washington, they're still in it. Dallas takes a 3-2 lead, and Philadelphia takes a 3-1 lead. Next game's up. We have Game 5, Columbus-Tampa. Game 5, Carolina-Boston. 5, Arizona-Colorado. And, ooh, wow, we've got tons of games. We also have Montreal-Philly Game 5, and then Vancouver-St. Louis Game 5. 4 of these series can be done. Columbus can beat Tampa out. Tampa can beat Columbus out. Boston, Carolina. Colorado can take out Arizona. Philadelphia can take out Montreal. St. Louis, Vancouver. This is a big game. This is take a 3-2 series lead.